The book of Nehemiah is a narrative account of the efforts of Nehemiah, a Jewish cupbearer to the Persian king Artaxerxes, to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem and restore the spiritual life of the Jewish community. Nehemiah receives news of the desolation of Jerusalem and the broken state of its walls, leading him to seek permission from King Artaxerxes to return to Jerusalem and undertake the task of rebuilding. The king grants Nehemiah's request, and he sets out for Jerusalem with the king's blessing and support. Upon arriving in Jerusalem, Nehemiah faces opposition from neighboring peoples who seek to hinder the rebuilding efforts. Despite these challenges, Nehemiah mobilizes the people to work together on the reconstruction of the city walls. He assigns specific tasks to different groups of people and leads by example, working alongside them. Nehemiah's leadership and determination inspire the people to overcome obstacles and press forward with the rebuilding project. Throughout the book of Nehemiah, prayer plays a central role in Nehemiah's leadership and in the life of the community. Nehemiah frequently prays to God for guidance, strength, and protection, seeking his favor in the face of opposition and adversity. The people also join Nehemiah in prayer, confessing their sins and seeking God's forgiveness and help. Their prayers reflect a deep dependence on God and a recognition of His sovereignty over their circumstances. In addition to overseeing the physical reconstruction of Jerusalem's walls, Nehemiah is also concerned with the spiritual renewal of the Jewish community. He institutes reforms to address social injustices, including the cancellation of debt and the restoration of land to those who had been exploited. Nehemiah also takes steps to ensure the proper observance of the Sabbath and the sanctity of marriage, seeking to uphold God's laws and commands. The book of Nehemiah highlights the importance of perseverance and determination in the face of opposition and adversity. Despite facing external threats and internal conflicts, Nehemiah remains steadfast in his commitment to the task of rebuilding Jerusalem's walls and restoring its spiritual life. His leadership and example inspire the people to work together with unity and resolve, ultimately leading to the successful completion of the project. Nehemiah's efforts to rebuild Jerusalem's walls and restore the spiritual life of the Jewish community serve as a testament to God's faithfulness and provision. Throughout the book, Nehemiah acknowledges God's hand at work in their midst, recognizing His sovereignty over their circumstances and His faithfulness to His promises. The completion of the walls and the dedication of Jerusalem to God's service are celebrated with great joy and thanksgiving, as the people recognize God's goodness and provision. The book of Nehemiah concludes with Nehemiah's return to Jerusalem after a period of service to the king of Persia. Upon his return, Nehemiah finds that the people have fallen back into disobedience and neglect of God's laws. He takes decisive action to address these issues, purging the city of foreign influences and recommitting the people to the covenant with God. Nehemiah's leadership and reforms serve as a reminder of the ongoing need for spiritual renewal and obedience to God's commands. Through its accounts of Nehemiah's leadership and the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls, the book of Nehemiah conveys timeless lessons about perseverance, prayer, and obedience to God. It serves as a testament to God's faithfulness to His people and His power to restore and renew, even in the face of opposition and adversity. The book of Nehemiah continues to inspire and challenge readers to seek God's guidance and to follow His commands in all circumstances.